Well, guys, last night we officially have 3 out of the 5 new members, and we are just waiting to hear back on the other ones, on the other 2, from their doctor on their physicals. Yes, they have to take a physical. Never had to, but I think what started it was, I may have mentioned it before, our past First Lieutenant John, who had actually passed away a few months back, I think kind of put the idea into the commissioners, meaning more than one, into their head. Because I've said it before, it's not that it's his fault, by no means. When we had the Wreaths Across America last year, when we sponsored it at the firehouse, during the ceremony, John fainted. They immediately, naturally, he's right in the firehouse, about 20 feet from the ambulance. So that's the best place if you're going to do it. But they said that he was dehydrated, and you know, medication and stuff like that. Well, you know, John was always go, go, go. You know, he wouldn't complain. He would just go. And nice guy. Really was a nice guy. Couldn't meet a nicer guy. But anyway, with that being said, it kind of sparked a little oops with the commissioners, because they don't want to have, I don't want to use these, I want to use these. They don't want to have any liabilities or problems. Now, do they care about John? Yeah, you know, especially the chief and everybody. Commissioners? Nah, they do, but they don't. They more care about the town. So it got to a point to where, well, how are we going to make sure that we're protected? Well, they did that by throwing us into the full application, which we never really needed before, of the fire department. And why I say we really don't need it is because we are not out there fighting fires anymore. So there's no need for us to have to go through all that. And the reason that this fire police thing was started in Branford, this was for some of the fire guys that were getting older and were getting ready to either retire or get aged out, because some of them don't have enough sense to retire because they like it. I can understand that. It's a nice little brotherhood. But you know, so at that point, you know, if you're getting aged out or a point to retirement, naturally you're not going to be in the same health. That's because, you know, that's why they aged you out, basically. So, but again, they don't pay attention to that, you know, and they're just concerned more so about themselves, you know, and is the town going to get sued over anything, you know, because they are responsible for us when we're out there. Now, another thing that I don't agree with, which I want to see if I can get changed. I mean, it's hard. Luckily, the chief and the crew that's in there now, you know, the chief, the assistant chief, the deputy chief, you know, the chief in charge of volunteers, they're all a pretty good bunch of guys. But so it's a possibility. But what it is, what I'd like to have see changed is, if we take our own vehicle, which most of the time we do, because if we haven't got time to run by the station and take one of theirs, and they understand, they only have one there for us. You know, we're all not going to meet there because that's just going to take more time. So we just jump in our cars and go. Well, if we're there and we have to use our car as some type of a barricade until the town gets out there, or sometimes when it's really bad weather, you really don't want to stand out there, so you sit in your car. Now you have all the lights, the signs, the bells, the whistles, so that everybody can see you. But your car is not covered. So if I'm sitting in my car and somebody runs the barricade and runs it and hits my car, I'm screwed. Because they're not going to cover the car. Yeah, well, if that were to happen and I wasn't in my car, then they're going to hit me. Well, see, that's where I think they're wrong. I'm covered, but the car can be replaced. I cannot. So I think that our vehicles, when on call, should be covered. And that's what I want to work on next, because I feel it should be. Now that tree is not perfect, but trees in general aren't perfect, so I can probably make this one look like we would expect a tree to look. I mean, they're perfect in their own imperfections. You follow me? They are what they are. Alright, so that's that. I got a few more over here. I might as well get a few of them done while I'm at it. I still have to get a little piece of something to stick them in. But anyway, I think that's why all this, again, I diversed, sorry about that, but I think that's where a lot of this new bullshit came in with all the physicals and things, because of that little issue with John. And I'll tell you, you know, sometimes, you know, you got to do what you got to do, and I can understand that, because sometimes we are stubborn, and we don't want to hear we can't do it, you know, or it can't be done. Some of us just don't want to stop. Don't know when to stop. Alright, so anyway, I just did something I was told that you shouldn't do. And I didn't do it because, well, I did it. I did it anyway. Not that I was taught not to. Well, where I'm going here is, I felt like a bagel. Now, the wife just went shopping, and she just came home with a bunch of bagels. I tell her, only buy the plain, because she knows I like cinnamon raisin. I said, but you buy plain, I can do what I want with it. I can make cinnamon raisin, I can make peanut butter and jelly, cream cheese. You buy a pack of cinnamon raisin and a pack of plain, well, you know what? You run out of the plain, what are you going to do with the cinnamon raisin? So I said, just buy all plain. Anyway, to make a long story short, there was still one in there. And I says, this is before she just got home. I mean, this was like 10 minutes ago. I said, I better go and get that bagel. I feel like a cinnamon bagel. So I go in, and the wife just came home, but I come out here and I go to put it in the toaster, and I noticed on the very edge, there was a light, I mean really light spot of mold. Now when I was younger, they wouldn't throw anything away like that. They would just cut the mold off, or pick it off, and either make your sandwich or make your toast. Whatever it is they're going to do with it, that was it. Well, watching YouTube channels, there was something on there saying, if you pick off the green mold, it doesn't mean that it's not harmful for you, because there's still the white spurs of the mold that grows into the part that you're not seeing. So basically it's still there. So to throw the whole thing away. Well, if I wasn't so lazy, I probably would have just thrown it out to the birds. But I cut the piece off a lot more than was actually moldy. I threw that out to the birds, and I put the other in the toaster. You know what? It's going in the toaster. So I'm sure if there's anything in there that's harmful, it should be dead. But I really don't know. What do you guys do when it comes to stuff like that? I was always taught to not waste food, and to save it. And I mean, if you were a prepper, what are you going to do? Throw away half your food because it's got a little mold on it? Right? When you got nothing, I think anything will help. So meanwhile, I gave the birds some, and I had some. Gotta feed the birds. Gotta take care of them, especially in the wintertime, because the ground's frozen. They can't fend for themselves. That's the way I look at it anyway. And the squirrels eat too, but the guy down the street seems to take care of the squirrels. He goes out there and throws lots of peanuts and popcorn out for the squirrels. But popcorn, I'll tell you, at one time I used to get popcorn cheap. I may have said it before. I knew somebody that ran the cinemas. Well, actually, he owned the franchise on the one in Orange. And he used to get all his popcorn from a place in West Haven on Railroad Avenue, which used to sell to all the theaters, to all the stands. So they had the popcorn, the candy bars, all that kind of stuff. And he used to buy the popcorn buttered in big black trash bags. That's how they got it. And then they would pour it into the machine, and then they would put some in to actually pop it to get the smell going. So you think you're getting fresh popcorn, when in fact it came out of a warehouse filled with trash bags filled with it. But he used to get these big bags, like, you know, these construction bags of popcorn for like buttered for like $9 a bag or something like that. You know, and it was one of those things to where, you know, he was getting like $4 for a little container of it, and there must have been 100 containers worth in there, easy. So the markup they made on that stuff was phenomenal. All right, I gotta find something to stick this stuff into so I can dip it into the paint. I should have thought about this when I was doing the spray foam stuff. Now this will work, but it start going off balance a little bit. Sorry about that, guys. I really shouldn't use these, but I will. Now, what color do we want to use here? I mean, you know, when trees are in the different seasons, they're different colors. So, you know, as long as they're kind of the fall colors, but I don't want it so damn bright that they look stupid either, but I can always tone them down if I have to with a little dry brush. Who that? Hey, Tuck. How you doing, buddy? Well, this one may not stick because I didn't cut the end off it. Maybe I can crimp it enough just for now. This is soft enough where it might work. There. Let's do one more here. What's this one? Okay. That's watered down just enough to where the green is starting to come through, which is not bad. All right, we'll try a couple of red. Come on, here you go. Red seems to be a little bit overboard, but we'll see how they dry. And I can always dry brush it with a little green or something. And again, get it all over my hands. Now where's that brown that I was playing with before? The one that I finally liked because it wasn't, there was no glitter in it. It should be thin enough to where as it dries it'll kind of bleed out of the color. Oh yeah? Well, I don't have any. We have no more treats, buddy. Not out here anyway. I know Mommy went to the store. I don't know if she got you treats or not. She was talking about it. I know she was talking about it. This I can't do for now, but I'll throw that in there. And throw it over there. Do the same thing with this one. Now, why am I making these brown? Well, I got a reason for it. For instance, if I take this one, for instance, and I dump it in there and make it brown, and then I get the crap all over my hands, I can actually flatten it out, hopefully, and let it dry and use it as a tree trunk. Possibility. You won't know until you try it. But that's why I have some in that box that are cut long that you can't see over there. Okay, let me wipe these off. Hey buddy, I don't have any treats out here. Mommy's got them all. You gotta wait for Mommy, buddy. Yeah. If she bought some, she'll bring them out. But at this point, you gotta wait. Okay, so let's take these and just put them over here. Well, you know what? Yeah, let's put it over here. There. I'm gonna go get my bagel.